Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Tiki Tuesday. Thank you very much for waiting. I'm Seem Oda, the community manager for International Ragnarok Online. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we've kind of got some big stuff going in this week. The first part of the Heroes Trail Part 2 is going in. At the very least, we're going to be adding new cards to the monsters around Rune Midgard. I think it's 50 or 48 some odd cards from instances from Malagdo. A number of locations in the game should be getting updates to cards. Monsters will be dropping those cards now. We're almost finished with bug testing the instances that come along with Heroes Trail, but there is a lot of localization stuff still left to be done. So we might not be able to put in all the instances this week. We actually might consider doing a one per week kind of thing. But Camptor and Holden are still working on that. Another big thing is if you're joining us from the Philippines, the opt-in page is live. That's where you'll log in with your account, basically signifying that you're in control of the account. You tell the site that you want to opt in that account. It takes you over to our Warp Portal sites. So it allows you to either connect it to an existing Warp Portal account you've created or to register a new Warp Portal account. Now, if you haven't created a Warp Portal account before, it's basically kind of an overarching account for all of our games, Rose, Requiem. You have your main Warp Portal account, and that's where you buy points before turning those into points for all the individual games and things like that. But we're working on getting more guides up for the merger. I know that Piro has posted a FAQ for those folks who have questions about that. And we're always working on getting more information out to you guys as soon as we can. So let's talk about what we've got going on this week. I just posted up the March 11th maintenance notes. St. Patrick's Day quest is getting started. We're hoping to bring back one of our favorites from the past. I think it's one of the first quests that I wrote. The 2011 Snake Pentor quest, where you're trying to find, the leprechaun O'Reilly who's been kidnapped by agents of a snake-themed terrorist organization. The Enriched Hammer is going to be going away, so if you're looking to do some upgrading with Enriched Hammer, you'll want to do that before he and Eat Gear, who takes your upgraded items in exchange for certificates. They're going to be going away this week, along with the February Lucky Box. So, Lucky Box is going out, Group Pack is going in. We usually like to give a week in between, but last week we're just not able to have that ready. Tribeca09 says, Oda, I can't log in my account, always disconnected. Please send in a ticket ASAP to the GM team. Some accounts have recently gotten bugged. We're looking into the reason for why. Oftentimes it's if they've recently bought VIP, there may be an issue there with the billing system not matching up. The blacksmith and brewing rankings reset. This is going to happen every 6 months, so you'll have to work back up to get up to the top of the list again. So that's what we have coming in on renewal. We're also going to try to see if we can do anything with the bounty boards this week. But it is pretty busy with Heroes Trail stuff. For Classic, there's stuff that I can confirm we have going in. The rankings for the brewing and blacksmithing are setting. We're adding monster tracking. So basically, if you have a quest to kill a monster, it'll now pop up above your character's head how many monsters you have left to kill. It's something that our Section 9 volunteer development group has been able to create, so that should be going in on Classic this week. We also added, we are also adding expanded class NPC warpers to our Asgard training village on Classic. The Fury 12369 says max vent update. Any idea? No. The increase to the max vending, that's going to be sometime in the future. Unfortunately, we are not getting it with this update. Rebellion is targeted for August of this year. DJ Mad asks about level 151 to level 175 turn-ins and Rebellion, please. More likely it would be bounty boards. We still don't like the idea of people just sticking only to the turn-in maps. Tribeca09 says, Oda, is it possible if you can unlink other game accounts from your War Portal account? Sorry, it's just because my window is starting to overlap. Like anything that comes in front of the Twitch chat window will show up kind of on the left side of the screen. But that's because Chaos is going to be in our new loading login screen, I should say. Alright, let's get to our... Right, also did a lot of fixes to the classic jumping Janeway. Used to be when you would turn in your quest, she'd give you your reward, and then when you talk to her again, she'd say, okay, here's a new quest, I'm going to warp you instantly. Now, she'll actually give you the option like, are you ready, or do you want to wait? And so it'll give players a chance to, like, if they accidentally click on her, they'll be able to like, oh wait, no, I still need to spend my skill points, I still need to put my equipment on. So that is something that we fixed this week. Also, if you're doing the thief turn-in, she will send you to the Prontera Knightage, so you can pick up the quest for culverts there. Alright, let's get to the questions. This week's thread is here. Tribeca09 asked about the 2 or 3 Ragnarok accounts. I want to unlink the 2 because I'm not using it. Thanks, Oda, for answering it. It should be something that you can send a ticket to the GM team and they can assist you with. Generally, they don't like to unlink War Portal accounts, but we figure that once the migration from Pyro happens, people will want to be consolidating accounts and stuff like that. So it's something we'll have to deal with a little further down the road. First question in the Tiki Tuesday Q&A thread is from Necroheliac, who says, it was mentioned previously in the Valentine's Day that Valentine's Day recipes were character bound. However, it seems that 3 out of 5 of them are actually storageable, and posted up which ones are currently character bound. We can fix that this week. Malongdo Culvert's daily weekly quests do not award EXP properly. It gives a 0 EXP awarded message when we turn it in. We'll check it out. I could have sworn that we had worked on that quest before, but there's a number of quests that kind of bug out if you're over level 150. Like, I don't know if Caro even updated their own scripts for that, but they must have. Because there's a number of quests that don't like it if you're 160 or 175 or something like that. Jay asks, is this thread being operated on? It's the Fix That Item Description project. Yes, but it's a very low priority. It's like when there aren't bigger things to work on, we will hit that page. But yeah, I'll make sure that we don't forget about it. Question number 2, you mentioned in a previous Tiki you had the faster option for prize metal exchange EXP with the IFL NPC stated to be ready for the March 4th maintenance. Yeah, with Campator out on vacation for the last couple of weeks, I think that's why that particular proposal stalled, but I'll pick it up, see if we can do that this week or next week. Number 3, here the expanded class skill books from the Creator Academy can be equipped by super novices at high level. Is this a bug? If not, can there be a way to obtain this for novices created before Creator Academy? This is a major advantage having mod 1 level 4 from the accessory. That seems like an oversight. That's another thing that I'll ask if we can look into. Dark Gazer, my question so far, I remember you guys mentioned on a past Tiki thread that you're going to start working on the 3rd class hats again in March. Are you guys going to get started with that after sorting this Heroes Trail Part 2 patch and Pyro transfers? Yes, once we are finished with the Heroes Trail testing on Sakurai, then we'll be able to do some more testing stuff with it. Number 2, vending limit update. We have no updates on that yet, but every month we let them know that that's like the main thing that our players need, update-wise from Caro. XRO says, thanks for the opt-in page update. Here are my questions. Any news regarding the item quantity limit for Puro migration? Some Puro players could be bringing tons of loots for an instantly massive amount of Zenny. Yes, we're still talking internally about what the limits on stacks will be. There's sort of reasonable amounts and there are unreasonable amounts. And I'm not sure if our system will allow us to set by item or set by, consumable versus simply an etc. item. So we'll have to look and see, because it may be that all stacks of items, any item that can be stacked, will have limits put on it. Will KVM equipment be migrated? I don't see why not. I don't remember that necessarily being on the exclusion list. In the opt-in page, it seems like I have the option to change my Puro account's gender. If my account has barred, will it transform into a lovely dancer? No. Please make sure to choose the correct gender for your account. Otherwise, it could create an issue. I think Camptor answered that question in the giant thread. But you'll generally want to set it to be your correct account's gender. Chaotic RK says, in Puro, are we able to bring potions from the battlegrounds like military pink rations to IRO? If yes, are the limits on the quantity that could be brought over to the new server? Yeah, there will have to be limits to how many stacks people will be able to bring. Yes, regarding the KVM gear, KVM points and KVM badges can't be brought over. Yeah, I think a Kafra costume would be pretty cute. Let's see. Will Geffen scrolls be included as well in the transfer? I don't see that being mentioned in the list of prohibited items. Although generally, if there's any box that opens up into an item, it's very unlikely that those will be brought over, just because the contents of boxes on Carrot or on Puro and on our server are very likely to be different. So, lastly, regarding the character data, friends, guilds, Kafra points, and some others, will they be preserved as well, or a reset will be made? I don't think your item all points will be carried over. I'm pretty sure that will not happen because it's a totally different billing system. Friends. I know that guilds will be carried over. I want to make sure to get the correct info. So apologize for looking around in the forums. Yeah, so if you have any questions, Puro has posted a pretty useful FAQ. Guild status will be preserved, so that will move over. Friends list, I think, will remain, but it may be tough because a lot of characters will be getting renamed. Toon Zaka asks, hey Oda, back in October or thereabout, the MVP summoner was changed to different monsters with the idea that every month, the MVPs would get rotated. It's been roughly 5 months now, and I'm wondering if maybe instead of every month we can have a quarterly rotation of MVPs. Yeah, that makes sense. It, again, it's one of those things that's like a low priority kind of thing. It's something we'd like to do more often, but like there's so many other things we have to do. It's sort of like we need to pick 4 times per year when we're actually going to change it out, so it's not as big a deal. Melly asks, I wonder if the double spawn was ever reduced at Bio 3 since Lighthouse and Spotlight was removed. I know the double spawn was kept in Biolabs 4 so parties can level there, but you forgot to remove the Bio 3 double spawn. We can look at that, see if it's in one of our script similars. Also, since most of the instances from the upcoming update are going to be placed inside the Dimensional Gap map, could you please put an Eden Teleport Lady there? Yes, we can put her in this week. Fuyuki-kun is asking about a number of monsters. Yeah, these are... Yeah, a number of missing monsters that we haven't put in yet. Most of them do exist. The cards do exist on Pyro. So we have requested them from Caro. It's just that they will not be going in tomorrow. Otherwise, I have a list of the monster cards that will be going in tomorrow, which includes like monsters from old Glass Time instance and things like that. King Arthur 6687 posts the 2 Valentine's Day recipes that are character bound. We'll make them storageable this week. And now for a question of my own, would it be possible to change the courtesy ticket that Gelka over in the Eden group gives your character to account bound? It's impossible to redeem them once you're above level 110. As they are currently character bound, they are useless as they remain on a character above level 110. Yeah, we'll have to take a look and see if there's a way for you to be able to turn them in later or something like that. Zazaza says Gramps 16-hour buff for ASPD, attack speed, cancels the increase in movement once you leave Eden. Icon vanishes as well. I've confirmed it by recording a replay. I can send one to support if you wish. The increase is the longest buff of its kind in the game. I'd like to see it last for its entirety. Let us know what maps you're going to. Some buffs don't survive when you actually move maps. Also, if I may, I'd like to follow up on my last question on the magic monsters in Splendid Field 2. You said that you cannot add a special map accessible via NPC for job change and such, but since these are special monsters, I'm assuming they have a different mob ID. Would it be possible to change their behavior to passive? This shouldn't affect the regular Nagas and Braidum Golems. Generally, there has to be a very good reason for us to change a monster's AI, especially if it's involved in a job change quest. If you can make the pitch to us, generally if something's horribly broken, it's a little easier for us to get traction on fixing it. Genius says, just like Fuyuki-kun said, when will the cards be available in IRO? I have most of these cards in Pyro, especially Paris and Cendrawasih, and hope these will be brought over. I found it really bad if these cards are not migrated over. Yeah, like, we have to get those before the merger happens, because if players come onto our new Thor server and the cards don't exist on RO's servers, like, there's going to be a major problem with players not being able to log in, and we don't want that. HMC317 says, Enchantful Devilwing costume, please. Maybe it's a new Lucky Box item or in a new Kitcoin costume box. Yeah. I mean, we will be getting these eventually. It's a pretty sweet looking pair of kind of bat wings with little chains on them. Arrow Crowder says, can we get Costume Full Moon or Prontera Costume Pack in the next Lucky Box? Thanks. You know what? If you can remind us next month when we have a Lucky Box coming in, that would be more possible. CHOY says, can you give an ETA on Super Novice Prayer getting fixed? It works in Caro fine, so it must be an upcoming patch that will correct it, but I just want to know when. Same thing with Mechanic getting our repair weapon skill to work again. We don't have any ETA on the skill fixes that we've reported to Caro yet. Gorgoth1 says, kindly help to check the event effect for Rudolph Hairband. Last year, Iroh would disable back the increase Agi skill and leave some percent on carrot healing when the event is over. I don't remember what we changed for that when that event came to an end. Please consider to add variant shoes for changing to Save Certificate by Eve Natalia. We can take a look at that. Corey says, can we please get some alternatives to Bio 4 for leveling past 150? Or just remove the EXP level scale thing. It's literally the worst thing, Renal. Yeah, that's why we wanted the creation of Classic server. Because Classic does not have the EXP or drops penalty for killing monsters higher or lower than your level. It's something that we weren't able to request for Renal. But we have let them know that our players desperately need more places to level above level 150. Kiju Doaf says, hey, wait a second, I noticed something. Some of the NPCs, when you talk to them, actually speak. That's kind of an Easter egg that we put in with one of our previous quests. Does that mean you can slap in lines for the Caffers, preferably the voices used in Ragnarok Odyssey? We could technically put voices in for any NPC that you talk to. It's not difficult to do. The main problem is that it does make the client larger. It'll be bigger patches anytime we need to put in new ones. I don't think we're allowed to use the voices from Ragnarok Odyssey because that was made by a separate company. Ex-DJ Mad C says, wouldn't that be harmful to Chaos's activity? Not really. A lot of players, it seems like they are creating accounts on Classic, on Chaos. and will likely still be playing there. Uh, at issue is kind of like having them directly merged onto Chaos would be difficult for them and for Chaos players, because of the discrepancies in the equipment that they have. On the one hand, they've got a lot of items that were never available on Chaos, and the way that upgrades worked were vastly different. Like getting plus 15 was, not as big of a deal as it was on our server. And on their side, if we just merge them onto Chaos server, sure, you're gonna have more people playing on the server, but you've got people who are trying to compete with guilds that have been playing IRO forever and ever and ever and ever. So it's not just guild stuff; it's also getting into the economy. It'd be very difficult to have them just merged onto Chaos. So Thor has been set up. It's a server for get their sea legs, get used to our service. They get to keep the accounts that they had if they opt in from Puro. It's kind of like, I think that they'll want to create accounts, and basically when the server opens up, we're going to have a Jumping Janeway event on renewal. So it'll be a way for people to get up to level 99, on both servers. We want to see some cross-pollination, so, people are still making friends. But we'll have that active. We'll have the skill and stat reset as well, just so that people make it easy for them to get started. Tatarat says, Oda, is there a fix for the client fall error on Classic? Currently I'm playing using a RAG exe client with a name modifier. Yeah, that's the one old one. I don't know. It's very... Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what the heck is the problem with, it'll say no client info and then Rick Squirrel something or other. It's a problem that has been happening where different solutions have been proposed. Currently, people add one old one to a shortcut to start the game, but that's kind of like not a great solution. They have posted up ways to sort of have a workaround, but we realize it's something that is like extremely not something we want to have. Let's see. So people have tried different workarounds for it. It's Some people are saying it could be a problem with having new Internet Explorer. I wonder if that could be the thing. You know what? Let me check into that. It's something that we're still trying to investigate. Because, there's not a lot of developer support for Classic, for bugs and things like that, unfortunately. But that is something that we definitely want to get taken care of. Let me see if I've got more questions. let me ask the guys about this, see if we might be able to take a look at that. If it is something where Internet Explorer could be having an issue with that, maybe we can see if we can switch it. If that might be the problem. Framework for it is missing. You know what? I've got the people who are talking in the chat on Skype. I'll go talk to them. But so I think that'll bring the Tiki Tuesday to a close for today. I'll be posting this up on YouTube. Sorry for keeping it short today and not having gameplay stuff. I got the error with Classic. It only happens on this computer, and maybe because it's got that upgrade on it. I'll have to take a look. But I'll have this put up on YouTube. I'd like to thank you guys all for joining me here today and for asking questions. You know, keeping it short today because we still have more stuff to do for the mains tomorrow. But Friday, we're going to have a live broadcast. I have to decide on something fun to do. Maybe doing some leveling in-game for the War Portal Weekly. But we'll take a look. So thank you guys very much for joining us, and you all have a wonderful afternoon, and definitely looking forward to the maintenance tomorrow.